prep work or what?
All right, so here we go. Your test will be in two separate pieces, one part calculator, one part run. On this practice test, I've just indicated with little stars which ones are calculator. So Miles, I need you up front here, please. And we're gonna jump in and start solving. So here we go. What's your thought on problem number one? We'll get as far as we can on this. We're gonna divide by 2, so log base 3 of x minus 2 equals 2, dividing both sides by 2. And then we will, we're on the front page, the first sheet of our,
You got a loop-de-loop here.
got a loop-de-loop. So 9 equals x minus 2 and x equals 11. Okay? How about B? This one looks very scary, but can we loop-de-loo this?
Yes.
So 7 to some power equals the 4 through to 49, which is 49 to the 1/4. And what do we know about 49? 7 squared. So 7 to the x equals 7 squared to the 1/4. So x must equal 2 times a 4th, or 1/2. C is 5. That's a property. That's just 5. Now D, we have a problem right from the beginning. There are way too many logarithms. So we have to condense these into ln something and these into ln something. You never want 2 on the same side of the equation. All right? So what's going to happen with these two? 19 and 2 have to be combined. How are they going to be combined? Multiplied. Why are they being multiplied? Because that is a addition. Now, the x and the 2 are also going to be combined, but they're going to be combined as a division. Right? Now, if ln right hand equals ln left hand, then left and right are equal. So 38 equals x over 2, and x equals 76. Notice in problem 1, I loop-de-looped. But problem 1 only had one logarithm. So I loop-de-looped. This problem has a logarithm on each side, so I just can get rid of them. Okay? E. Again, E should be a no-brainer for you. What is x? 0.7. Because when ln and E are in direct contact, they cancel, right? Don't make it hard. 0.7. F. Well, we have the same problem in F that we just had in that one. There's too many logarithms. So what am I going to do on the left side of that equation? Divide. So it's going to be x minus 3 over 2. Now, am I going to drop the logarithm? No, I only have 1. So what do I do when I only have 1 logarithm? Loop-de-loop. So 8 to the first equals x minus 3 over 2. So that's just 8. So 16 equals x minus 3. I got 19 for that answer. Is your hand up or you just stretch it? What are you going to do with G? loop through it, so it's gonna say x to the 1/3 equals 2. Now, don't be confused. What does a 1/3 exponent really mean? Cube root. So does it make more sense to you when you see it like this, that you're going to have to cube both sides? So the answer is 8. Okay, and the last one, now, this problem has an ln and an e in it, but they aren't in direct contact. You see that there's something in between. This is in between. So maybe we should write that radical as a fraction. Then they will be touching and I can cancel them. So what fraction is the 4th root to the 7th power? 7/4. And that is the answer to the problem. Because as soon as you remove the radical, now they aren't touching each other. All right? I didn't see anything difficult in there. You've practiced that stuff, right? Okay. All right. Number 2. Okay, we also practiced this. Let's do it again. What does an exponential function look like?
Y equals A times B to the X.
Exactly. That's my end goal right there. I have to find my A and my B. But the joyful good news is A is already there. Isn't A 4 your initial value? So Y equals 4 B to the X. Right? Now what?
X is 0. How is she always thinking of every possible rule at the same time? What?
But not, no, you get back to class right now. Darn children. All right. Okay, how did you tell me I was gonna find me? What did you say we're gonna do?
It's X is 0, so you plug in 0.
No, I already know
6 over
that.
9 equals
This
4
one,
times
I need 16/9 equals 4 times b squared. Now, some of you just freak out in a situation like this. We need to get rid of that 4, don't we?
Yeah.
So one option is we can divide. Another option is we can multiply by a 4th. Now you figure it out. You can do either one, but it's easier to multiply by the reciprocal since that's a fraction. So that's gone b squared. Now this actually would be 16 over 36, but that reduces to 4 over 9, which is a great number because now I'm going to square root it, and b equals 2/3. Now B is a calculator problem, so you can go ahead and use your calculator on this one. Anybody remember what the format for a logistic function is? Y equals A over 1 plus BC to the X. That might be something you need to highlight if you've forgotten that. Okay, now what do we know? We know we have an initial value of 6. Now remember, an initial value is a y-intercept. Okay? Remember, this was your initial value, your A, 4. So this is my point. 0.06. I have a limit to growth of 18. Anybody remember where that shows up? That's A. And I have a random point, 2 comma 144 over 17. Yeah. All right, so I took care of my limit to growth first. Now what do I do?
Fill in 6.
I fill in this point right here. So 6 equals 18, 1 plus BC to the 0th. What is C to the 0th? 1. So I have 6 equals 18 over 1 plus B. Right? So now I'll multiply this over. 6 plus 6B equals 18. I'm multiplying this over here. It's distribute. So 6B equals 12 and B equals 2. Alright, so now, let me write down what I have. Now I have Y equals 18 over 1 plus 2 C to the X. Now what? Fill in the last point. So 144 over 17 equals 18 over 1 plus 2 C to the second. Now given that this is a fraction and this is a fraction, I think I'm just going to cross multiply. Does that make sense to you? So I'm gonna have 144 plus 288C squared equal to 306. 17 times 18. So then I'll subtract 144. So what is that, 162? It's not gonna be bad at all. Because this reduces to 81 over 144. It reduces even more, but I'm okay with 81 over 144 because I'm going to, so it's 9 over 12, which reduces to 3 over 4. So after all that, that's a big problem. There's a lot going on there. After all that, my answer is 18 over 1 plus 2 times 3/4 to the x.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Okay, number 3. State the domain, range, and intercepts. Now, before we get all bothered by that, let's think about our BFFs. Your BFFs are part of your life forever, your math life, you can't forget about them. You remember that your exponential has an asymptote here, an intercept here, and looks like that. That is your exponential. So every exponential you draw is going to be some version of that. So I'll do B first since that's the exponential. Y equals 3 to the x minus 4. Now, 3 to the x looks just like that. Nothing different. If you put in 0, you get 1. That is 3 to the x. What happens when I put a -4 on the end?
It's down 4.
It drops it down 4. So the asymptote, instead of being at 0, is at -4. And the intercept, instead of being at 1, is at -3. So that was easy. Find the asymptote and intercept, domain and range. Okay, domain and range. Blue curve, blue curve. Domain is -infinity to infinity. Range is -4 to infinity. Are you following, guys? Huh?
Yeah.
All right, now the logarithmic curve. What does your basic logarithm, your BFF logarithm look like? It has an asymptote at 0 and an x-intercept at 1, 0. Remember that? That's your logarithm. Now, what have you done? What does this do to the picture? 2 to the right. So the asymptote, instead of being at 0, is now going to be at 2. And the intercept, instead of being at 1, is now going to be at 3. Your domain of the blue is 2 on, 2 to infinity. And your range is -infinity to infinity. It goes all the way down, all the way up. All right? You're dead in the water if you don't remember your BFFs. So remember your BFFs. All right. Consider y equals 3 to the -x. Well, first of all, I would never consider that. I would think of it as 1/3 to the x.
That's the other way of writing it.
That's the other way of writing it. Yep. Is that growth or decay? Definitely decay, because of the 1/3, right? So it says plot some points. Okay. If I put in, so I put t-chart. If I put in 0, I get 1. What if I put in 1? 1/3? What if I put in -1? I get 3. Are we seeing decay?
Yes.
Don't be tricked. If you just looked at this and saw that 3, you might think it was growth. You gotta pay attention to that, right? Log base 7 of 19. Yeah, most of you have the newer calculator, so you have in your math menu, you have the log base key. So you get to fill in these boxes. Not me. I have to do log 19 divided by log 7, but I'm going to get the same answer as you, the old-fashioned way. Log 19 divided by log 7, 1.513. Notice, especially if you have a new calculator or a calculator with the log base button, there's no work. You just type. Number 6. How long will it take to triple an investment if interest is 1.8% compounded monthly? This is a formula you need to know. This is the same formula you used last year, your compound interest formula. All right, help me. How long will it take to triple an investment? what does triple an investment mean? You end up with 3 times what you started with. So if you wanna start with P, you can end with 3P. If you wanna start with 10, you can end with 30. It doesn't matter. Just make sure whatever you write here is 3 times whatever you write here. So if you wanna call it X and 3X, great. Doesn't matter. I wanna know 0.018. Remember, when you put a percentage into a formula, it has to go in as a decimal. Compounded monthly, and I wanna know how long it's gonna take. So step 1 is divide by, I'll divide by 10, you're dividing by X, whatever you're doing, you're dividing this out. So you have this. Now your variable is an exponent. That is not good. We've gotta get it down. The only way to get it down is to log it, because that will pull it out in front. So the log of 3 equals 12t log 1 plus 0.018 divided by 12. Now before you do anything else, I want you just to pause for a second. This is what we're solving for, correct? Don't we need to take the log of 3 and divide it by 12 and divide it by this? So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the log of 3, I'm gonna divide it by 12, it equals, and then I'm gonna divide it by the log of 1 plus 0.018 divided by 12. And with any luck at all, you got 61.08 liters. Anybody else get that when you type that in? All right, we're gonna finish this tomorrow, but before we, I wanna jump down and do number 11, because we have not, I did that on the E-Day, but we haven't done one together. I wanna jump down and do number 11. So read problem number 11, and tell me which formula we need for problem number 11.
Interesting.
Monthly payments. Bing, 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 FV or PV. Since I'm paying off a loan, it is PV. So this one you will be given, I don't even have it memorized. All right, so there's the formula we're going to use. Okay? We want to know what our payment's going to be. So we want to know what R is. The present value of the loan is 1234. Don't know my payment amount, I'm finding that. My interest rate is 0.1899 monthly. So 0.1899 divided by 12, that's my interest rate. I'm doing this monthly for 3 years, so I'm making 36 payments. So there is my setup. Now, before we start freaking out here, we want R. Don't we just need to take 1, 2, 3, 4 and divide it by that? Okay, So the way I like to do it, minimizes parentheses, I like to just figure out what this is. Figure it out. So 1 minus parentheses, 1 plus 0.1899 divided by 12, close parentheses, raise to the negative 36 power equals, so I just did my numerator and I got 0.43. Now I'm going to divide that by parentheses 0.1899 divided by 12. So this bracket is 27.28, right? So now I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 divided by second answer. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 and divide it by this answer, which is on my calculator. And your payments are $45.23. So that is the answer to problem A. Now, what is the answer to B? How will I figure out the answer to B? What will I do? I'll take 45.23 and multiply it by 36. I'm going to make 36 payments. So I'm going to end up paying this much money. So I end up paying about 32% more than I borrowed. Credit cards are stupid. I use my credit card all the time, but every month I pay it off.
How do you find
I'm making 36 payments of $45.50. Okay. No. We still have 2 minutes. Let's see if we can do one. 8? We can do 8 quickly. 8's a quick one. What formula do I use for 8? Hertz. Yeah, 8 is a hertz. And I am going from 789 to 4321
So 432.
in 11 hours. Great.
There is no 11:50 mass today, Dr. Chpt on the junior retreat at the day.
So yeah, 11 would go in for T. Now, what would be the steps to solving this?
Divide by 789.
Divide by 789. LN both sides.
Divide by
Divide by 11 because the E is going to cancel out. And that will be the answer to that. Come on, sit down, don't act like crazy people. Wait. Get on, I don't know what those people are doing. We're not leaving till it's time. Sit down. Be patient.
I really don't care.